boys and girls, it's Wootini, and welcome to another one of my video podcasts. This week, I finally was able to play some video games. Well, to start with, I've been plowing through Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, further than I've ever gotten before, and I know this for a fact because I did, after saying I was going to do it last week, I did actually go and plug in the N64 into the TV and pop in the cartridge and see where I was, and my save had a lot of hearts, and I thought, wow, I got further than I did. And then when I actually started the game, I was still in the middle of the water temple. Well, at the beginning, because they always start you at the beginning of the dungeon, which sucks, but that's just how you have to deal with Zelda. I couldn't believe it. So, I guess I got frustrated with the water temple. I don't know, but like I think I had as many hearts. I think I might have even had one more heart than I have now in the 3DS version, where I'm, you know, heading for the Spirit Temple. And I'm not quite sure how that is, unless I got so frustrated with the water temple that I would go off and do other things. And, I mean, I had a lot more gold Skulltulas than I do in this one as well. So I think either I got frustrated and went off to do other things, and then come back to the water temple or something, or else it was just because it was so new and awesome at the time, I wanted to explore every nook and cranny. Which is usually how I play these games, but being that I've already played some of it, I mean, now I'm into whole new parts of Ocarina that I have not played before, but I did kind of plow through the beginning, because I'm like, oh, I've already done this, I know what to do. So I wasn't really, you know, exploring every nook and cranny, and finding every little secret, and, you know, that sort of thing. I haven't been playing it for 100% completion, which I never do, because I never will get 100% completion. There's always that one thing that I'm missing that I just can't get. But it was kind of fun to, like, pop that in and see just how far I had gotten. And I do still think that the water temple was a bit early to give up. Although I feel like it's almost the halfway point, so, you know, whatever. But it was not nearly as bad this time around with the ability to switch the boots on and off. Although I still did get frustrated with it because it was very confusing and annoying, but what are you going to do? But I was also able to play some console games. I'm finally able to get, I feel like I'm this close to the end of LA Noire. I'm not sure exactly how many cases I might have left. I'm investigating the Elysian Fields conspiracy with the arsons and such. And the guy, what was his name? Leland something, that runs Elysian Fields. I'm doing an interrogation with him. I'm like questioning him and stuff. And the guy's like all squinty. How am I supposed to tell if he's lying if he won't even open his eyes? You know? Like, come on! So, you know. But, like, it was frustrating because the case right before that, you're investigating arson, and it's just like in the beginning with the homicide desk, where you're supposed to be solving these murder cases, but every time you finish a murder case, you're like, I don't really think this is the guy that did it. All the evidence is pointing to him. And it's also bad when there's just the one suspect, and you're like, well, whatever. And then it turns out it's not him. But I just did an arson case that was just like one of the murder cases where you have multiple suspects, and you have to choose which one you're going to charge. And it's like, well, neither. Because I think neither of them did it. In the murder ones, they were clearly setups, and neither of them were guilty. In the arson, one had, like, you know, one seemed more suspicious, but the other one had a better motive. But neither of them, like, honestly, in the real world, like, I would not have charged either of them, because there's not a solid case for either of them. I mean, but it was the 40s and whatever, it's a noir, so you just charge somebody. And as soon as the next case starts, it's like, aha, there's more fires, and that wasn't who did it. And it's like, well, no, of course not. And I feel like it's a real cheat for the game, because the whole point of the game is you're supposed to find the clues and question the suspects, and then you're supposed to solve the riddles and figure it out and say, aha, here it is, all the evidence points to you, you're the guilty party. And you feel a sense of accomplishment for having solved the mystery. But if they're faking the mysteries to get you to the next chapter so that you can find out there's a conspiracy and it really wasn't them, it just feels like a cheat. And I still love the game, but as far as the storytelling goes, the cheating kind of irritates me. It was alright when they did it the one time, but now they're still doing it, and that's annoying. The other game that I wanted to talk about this week was Rock Band, because they had some really good downloadable content this week. They had Erasure's A Little Respect and Frankie Goes to Hollywood Relax, which was great. So I had a little gay DLC party there. But it was weird because I played drums for the first time in a while, and as I'm playing drums on these songs, when you do the drum fills, you know, to activate your star power, or the overdrive, whatever they call it. I think it's overdrive in Rock Band. Yeah, overdrive. So when you're doing that, like, all of a sudden, it doesn't sound like the drums in the song, it sounds like electronic drums, and they're really loud and really off-putting, and I'm like, what is that? And it throws me off completely, and I would miss the final green note to hit for the overdrive a couple of times, because it throws off my rhythm, and I'm like, what is that noise? And I have no idea what's going on. And I thought, at first, that it was just, oh, well, it's because it's an electronic, you know, it's Frankie Goes to Hollywood, it's electronic drums, it's going to have an electronic drum sound when you do the fills. But then I went and played Blondie, and it still sounded weird. And I'm like, why are the fills suddenly sounding bizarre? Like, I did not change any settings. Like, what's going on? So if anybody out there listening to this knows what the hell I'm talking about, and can tell me, oh, just go into this setting and option and change this or do that, then that'd be great. But if all you're going to say is, oh no, that's just how it is, then don't tell me that, because that's annoying, because it was never like that before, so it has to be able to switch back. I don't know. And I'm looking forward to finishing LA Noire because, you know, a few weeks ago I went and downloaded my free games from PlayStation since, you know, the PlayStation Network was down. Not that it bothered me, because I don't ever play on the PlayStation Network. Although I really could do with some new SingStar DLC. There hasn't been any of that in months. But I got Infamous and Little Big Planet. And I don't think I'm going to really enjoy Little Big Planet that much, because I'm not big on platformers. But we'll see. But Infamous, I played the demo and thought it was kind of cool, and a friend of mine raves about it, so I thought, it's free, let's get it. Even if it takes like 4 hours to download, whatever, it's still free. So I'm looking forward to playing Infamous. I just need to finish LA Noire, because if I start Infamous, I might get all into it and then forget to finish LA Noire, because that happens. So I'm forcing myself to finish one game before I start another. Otherwise, I will just add another disc to the shelf of games I mean to finish, and clearly never will. So that's it for me. I'm gonna go play some more games, and I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye!